Hey guys, just thought I'd share with you some more things that sold. Trying to get into the habit of making videos. I'm aware I'm not the greatest at it, but uh, keeps me accountable, keeps my mind engaged. One thing if you're a reseller, you'll know what I mean. Is as fun as it is going to yard sales and thrift stores and treasure hunting and finding things, the flip side of that is the absolute monotony of listing, cleaning, picturing. It's some days it's easier than others, but takes a lot to be motivated. So maybe making these YouTube videos kind of gets my mind sidetracked a little bit. So maybe I'm making them a little selfishly, but anyhow. I don't remember exactly all the prices I paid for this stuff. I can give you round figures, and I'll probably be pretty close. But, you know, as far as exact, I'm probably not going to give you exact numbers because I don't remember exactly. But I can tell you what they sold for because I do have that down. I'll start out with these. These were at a yard sale. They're fishing pole holders. Have them in a bag, 2 of them. I think they go in a boat, and you can put your pole rod in. And you know, nothing fancy at all. I paid $2 for them, and they sold for $18.99. Again, I'm okay with that. If I could do that every day, all day, I would do that. But not necessarily going to get you super excited. A Tyco Durango locomotive. I believe it's HO scale, I believe. I took an offer on it. It's been sitting around a little while. I bought it in a huge lot of train stuff, so I've already made my money, then some. So now I'm just, everything I sell, it's profit. So this sold for $15. A little probably undervalued, but sometimes you gotta just get rid of things. These shoes, someday I will show my shoes. Maybe I'll make a short today about it. I love shoes. Now, I'm not a fancy guy. I don't dress fancy. I don't, I'm not that guy. But I don't know why it is, but I really enjoy buying and selling shoes. I think I got into it because I started watching videos about how they're made. And, it's very interesting to see how quality shoes are made. And so I have tons of shoes. I don't even know how many. I look around me and they're everywhere. So, but this pair I actually wish I would have got a little more for, but I got an offer and I took it. They're, if you can tell, they're alligator print. The brand, may not pronounce this properly, but the brand is Mauri, M-A-U-R-I. Really, they're in really nice shape. Really nice shape. I had them priced as like $300, which I'm aware that was high. I generally price things at the top with sales and offers. It settles down about what it probably really is worth. But somebody offered me $150. I took it. I have shoes out the wazoo, so I was glad to get that. $150 is a nice chunk of change. This is a pendant on a necklace. I wasn't sure what it was made of. I think it's bone or horn. Pretty sure it's not ivory. But to be safe, I definitely didn't put ivory in the title. It may be ivory, but I don't think it is. I think it's a fang or a claw, maybe even. I listed it as antique fang tooth pendant with sterling accents. The rim around here is sterling. Again, I probably paid $1 or less for one of them bins at the yard sale. Sold for $20, so that's a nice little find. Then I sold, my son again is into watches, so I'm learning about watches probably more than I would have if he wasn't. This is just a Timex Expedition. Nothing fancy. It's a kind of a vintage one, probably from the 90s. And I sold that for $25.07, and that probably was again $1 or $2. Might even came in a bag of now that I'm thinking about it, might have even came in a bag of watches for like $6. So that was a pretty good sale. This was a cool find. I bought these fairly recently. I was at a yard sale, or not, excuse me, a thrift store in Pittsburgh, and they had this pattern. It's Waverly, which, if you know, Waverly's a great brand for drapes, curtain stuff. I'm probably not getting all the words. Valance maybe is the right word. Drapes, curtains, bed sheets, pillowcases, all that kind of stuff. Tablecloths. And I saw this and I thought, well, I better look that up. It was, I think this was like 12 something maybe. It might even been $9.99, but I'll say $12.99. And I got this, and it sold for $57.75. But what was interesting is I got the whole bedroom suit was still new, individually packaged. Like, so there was 2 shams in a pack, 2 pillowcases in a pack, there was this in a pack, there was all that different things separated. So I paid really they had it priced really low, which was nice, but it's a unique pattern, and it's selling. So, you know, it's not jumping off the shelves, but it is selling, and for good money. So Waverly, this was a queen sheet set. This was a thing I probably would not buy again. I was having one of them yard sale days where I wasn't finding anything, and you know how it is. You just kind of want to buy something. I've done really well with fishing lures in the past, and there's this whole wall of fishing lures that were overpriced. But I seen this one, and it just kind of jumped out at me. It's a Jet Popper by Williamson. It's pretty long, 5 inches, I believe, 5 1/4 inch. And I paid $5 for it, and I sold it for $17.47. Really not what I would want to do again, but I did make some money, probably $5. Really not, again, probably wouldn't do that again. But it did sell. It's out of my hair. I made a couple bucks, so it's not all negative. I paid $1 for this Coach wallet. My wife likes Coach, and I don't know what all she likes, but she likes nice purses and wallets and things. So I've learned a little bit about it from her. And for whatever reason, you get a vintage Coach purse, it may take forever to sell. But these Coach wallets, they hold their value and they sell fairly fast. I think this was only less than a week, I think. I paid $1 for it. Small, compact, will ship perfectly. And it sold for $22.79, so pretty good. Bought a huge ATV lot maybe a couple years ago or 3 years ago. Sat in my shed for a year, and I finally got to listing it all. And it was such a good buy. I think I spent $400 on the whole lot, and it was thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars it turned into. And I sell it every week. I sell something from that. This was a front sprocket for a Honda, I think it's a 4-wheeler, 450R, $10. They paid $9.25 shipping, so I'll probably make a couple bucks on the shipping. But just tons of stuff from that, and so not a huge number, but glad it sold. Now, I have said that my son is into selling watches. He fixes them, he sells them, he's really into it. His Facebook page is Willard Watches, and he's made some watches for people, and he fixes them, and he's actually going to be going to school for that. So he found this. I'll take it out of the package so you can see it. He found this watch. It's not the best lighting. It's a Timex, but it's made by Heinz. It's mechanical, meaning you wind it up. And he put a fresh band on it, and he paid $5 for it, and he sold this watch for $151.99. So he'll be getting that money. And I think he polished the. It's pretty cool. I'm not sure if you can see it, but if I can wind it, it does the second hand. Yeah, there you go. The second hand is the ketchup bottle. So kind of cool, kind of a gimmicky watch, but hey, somebody really wanted it for $151. So pretty cool. Interesting. I'll end with this, some finds that I've been finding lately. I went to the yard sales last weekend and found different things. I went to this one sale, and it's just, picking is all about what you know. everybody knows the easy stuff. Everybody. And so you're not probably always going to find that unless you get to the sale first. But what you know and your experience always pays off. So I was walking through the sale, and she had a lot of cool stuff. She was obviously a dealer of some sort. She wanted to, you know, she was just at that price range where it didn't make sense to buy it to resell, but boy, it was tempting type of thing. So I went past this, there was this box of just parts, just pulleys and whatever. It was $5 and they were really heavy. And I've sold a bunch of motors, I've sold a bunch of switches, a bunch of industrial equipment, a bunch of all that kind of thermostats, HVAC stuff. I just sold a ton of that. And so I know in my mind this stuff is probably going to be expensive just by looking at it. So I picked up the box. Let me pick this up here. In that box were, I guess I can take it out of the box, were 4 of these. Now this is a thermostat. I knew it by looking at it was a thermostat. But I did not know, when I looked at it, it is actually an OEM for a Cummins engine from like the late 80s. It's like, I looked that up. I had 4 of these in that $5 box. I listed them each, I think, for $4.99. I can actually look here and see. I listed 4 of them, and it came to $359.96. So whatever that is divided by 4, so $359.96 for total for these in that $5 box. Then in that box were these. There's a little light dusting of like service rust, but they're new. And these also, I believe, are the idler pulleys for that same engine. Again, these are going to be worth about $50 to $60 a piece, maybe more. There's 3 of them, so there's $120. No, excuse me, $180 on top of the $359. Here's a Kenworth key barrel set. What's in that box? OEM, and this I'm thinking is going to be around $20 to $25. Pretty cool. This is a random pulley with no part number on it, so probably not going to be able to sell that as anything special, but I'm sure it has a value. I'll probably scrap it. There's this switch that I believe works on an air switch, I believe, and it is, I think I looked it up and it was in the 50s. Add 50 to that number. This switch here, and they're all the stuff was, interestingly, was new. This switch here, I don't know what it is, to be honest. It might be somewhat of a relay. But once I figure that out, just with the other stuff, it's probably going to be worth a decent amount of money. This switch here, this is like I think it's some type of a thermostat switch or something. I looked it up and it was selling for in the 50 range, I think. Mine's not super clean, so it's probably going to be a little less, maybe 40. And then there is this switch here, which I have not found. It's just a toggle, so I don't know about that. But my point is that sale out of that little $5 box I've made, once this all will sell, and it may take a year to sell, it may take 5 years to sell, I don't know. But I probably made $500-600 off a $5 box that literally, I bet you it would have sat to the very end of the sale. Nobody would have bought it. Some old guy with a rough truck would have come up and offered to take it away for scrap. So picking is still about what you know. I mean, yes, finding the easy stuff is always the best way. It's the easiest way. It's the most enjoyable way because it's no effort. You're just making money. But when it comes down to it, the person who knows the most always makes the most. So lesson, I guess. But hey, have a good day, and we'll see what I sell and see what I bring back to you. Keep an eye on my channel for a short. I think I'm going to give you a little quick view of my shoes. Just think you might be surprised. I have quite a few. Take it easy.